Coming up this morning for you on Daybreak, a manual recount for House Seat 135 will start this morning. Nigel will bring you a live report.
And with the 2020 presidential election causing division across the U.S., we sat down with two local residents on both sides of the political aisle to show that there is still more that unites us than divides us.
We're also keeping an update on coronavirus numbers throughout the Ozarks. We need to talk with local health experts and discuss the current outbreak in our area. It's all ahead this hour for you on Daybreak.
Good morning and thanks for starting your day with us. Today is Thursday, November 12th. I'm Jennifer Abreu.
And I'm Joe Morano. A lot to get to in our final hour here, and we will, of course, want to kick it off by checking in with meteorologist TJ Springer. He's got our forecast first this morning. TJ, a little chilly as we get out there today. But I did enjoy yesterday afternoon, as you said. It did warm up a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. After a cold start, it did warm up, and I was walking Gizmo outside, and it didn't feel too bad. I went out with just my suit jacket on. I didn't have like a winter coat on or anything once that sun came out and it warmed up.
Yeah, when the sun comes out, it feels a lot nicer. We have been spoiled, and I just have seen people, not just here in our area, but across the country, too, saying, you know, it doesn't feel like November.
I have too, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, it was in the 70s for so long, guys, and now we've kind of become a little more normal for this time of November. We are quiet to kickstart our Friday Eve, looking toward the downtown skyline this morning. We have mainly clear conditions. High pressure is moving away from us, though, and that is going to open the doors to our next disturbance, and I'll talk about that here in just a minute. Temperatures are in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, so a nice mix of temperatures. Spots like Lake Ozark in the upper 20s, but notice down toward northern Arkansas, some spots closer to 40, like Harrison. Now Fayetteville has dropped below freezing, 31 degrees for you. It's 42 in Monette, 43 in Joplin, and 39 in the Springfield metro. Wind speeds are pumping in from the southeast around 5 to 10. They will increase a little bit more today ahead of this cold front, and that will make for a warmer afternoon. We'll be actually back above average for this time of the year. So if you want the warmth, we'll have that by later on today. No concerns out at the park. You still probably want, have a light jacket around. We're going to be back into the 50s by midday, then I think closer to 60 by 1 o'clock. No concerns out there, aside from the clouds moving our way because of this cold front. And then our next rain chance arrives by the weekend, and next week we are looking warmer. So we'll talk more about that in our forecast coming up soon. Guys.
The manual recount for the 135th House District race between Steve Helms and Betsy Fogel will begin within the hour here very soon. Color 10's Nigel McDonald is live at the Greene County Election Center to explain what exactly is happening here. Nigel, good morning.
Yeah, Joe, well, good morning. The people behind me are now sorting those ballots that will be counted this morning. Now, as you remember, it was a tight race on election night between candidate Betsy Fogel and her opponent, Steve Helms. Fogel was leading her opponent by just 34 votes. Now, according to the Missouri Code of State Regulations, a manual recount is required if the difference in votes is equal to or less than 0.5%. The difference in this race is just 0.45% or 80 votes. This number was determined after Greene County election judges approved and counted provisional ballots, adding both absentee ballots that arrived last week before or on election day and military and overseas ballots. Now the ballot sorting is beginning right now and will continue, and then ballot tabulation will take place at University Plaza at 8 o'clock this morning. Now bipartisan teams will do the recount and the public is invited to watch. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
Nigel, thank you. In coronavirus coverage this morning, it's been exactly 8 months since Greene County's first case of COVID-19. And here are some of the numbers we are seeing right now. According to the Health Department dashboard, there are 4,027 active cases in Greene County. Of those, 189 people are hospitalized. 173 deaths have been reported in the county. 19 of them happened just this month. Steve Edwards with Cox Health says there is a critical shortage of beds in the region as they work to find space to add on more beds. Edwards says the fall and winter could increase the volume even more.
The disease is growing. We anticipate respiratory viruses to grow in the fall and winter for various reasons. That's the nature of respiratory viruses. As 3/4 of the nation is in a surge, at least the better part of the Midwest and parts of the South are, there aren't as many resources to be shared. So that's a worrisome thing.
Edwards says the good news is once a vaccine becomes available, the state of Missouri looks to be in a position to distribute it at a good pace.
The Phelps-Maurice County Health Department is telling anyone who was in attendance at a non-school sponsored Rolla homecoming dance recently to immediately quarantine. This was held at Matt's Steakhouse last Saturday in Rolla, not in conjunction with the school. According to Rolla Public Schools, 10 high school students and 1 staff member have tested positive so far for the virus. The health department says those who attended need to quarantine from now until November 22nd.
Missouri reported more than 4,000 new COVID-19 cases just yesterday. Hospitals in mid-Missouri say they're struggling to find room for patients and are sending them to metropolitan areas. The St. Louis Pandemic Task Force says currently half of COVID-19 patient beds are occupied from patients not from the St. Louis area. In Columbia, Boone Hospital Center sometimes transfers multiple patients a week.
In outstate Missouri especially, is gatherings spreading the disease. That I think that people in outstate Missouri saw it in urban Missouri, St. Louis and Kansas City and Springfield, and said, well, that's an urban disease.
Recently, the state's health director and the Missouri Hospital Association are agreeing that hospital staffing is their biggest concern at the moment.
And our next front is on the horizon. It's going to move our way throughout the rest of our Friday Eve. Can it, could it bring some rain? We're talking about that and also another rain chance in the days ahead coming up next. Keep it right here.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Jennifer Abreu, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist TJ Springer. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.